Since the start of Euro 2024, Lamine Yamal has been one of the standout performers of the tournament. That's strange when you realise the kid is just 16 years old. But with his influence in the Spanish national team growing significantly, will he be the one to lead Spain to Euro glory? Or will it be a cross too heavy for a 16-year-old to carry? Heading into the tournament, the expectations for Lamine Yamal were mixed. Considering how inexperienced he was, not everyone expected him to even start from the get-go. But by starting the game against Croatia, he became the youngest player feature at a UEFA Euro tournament. He justified his selection by causing problems for Josko Gvardiol, who just had a fantastic season with Man City. Yamal's pace and trickery seemed too hot for the defender to handle. He then curled in a beautiful cross for Gvardiol's goal to become the youngest best player to assist at a UEFA Euro tournament. He was so impressive that the Spanish fans gave him a standing ovation when he was substituted. He followed that up with another brilliant performance against Italy, where he terrorized the left-back Di Marco and caused the Italian defense all sorts of issues. Although he didn't score or assist, he was one of the best players on the pitch that day. His performance over both games repaid the faith his manager placed on his young shoulders. However, was it how he played that made us all forget how he's just 16? How did we get carried away to place such responsibility on a child? After the game against Italy, a video of the Spanish king reacting to Yamal's age made the rounds. The monarch couldn't believe a 16-year-old was playing at such a high level. Additionally, an image of Yamal doing homework in his hotel room was a reminder that the kid was being thrust into the limelight way too fast. While normal kids his age are busy watching funny videos on YouTube, Lamine Yamal is starting and bossing games at Euro 2024. That feels rushed, but don't get me wrong, the kid is a generational talent. However, there needs to be a natural progression in his career. I know this statement will annoy plenty of Spanish and Barcelona fans because what they think of Yamal is beyond crazy. Before the match against Croatia, one of his biggest fans, the Spanish coach, had this to say. In the case of Lamine Yamal, he's a player who is touched by a magic wand, and we have to support him because he will be praised and criticized fiercely. This statement sums up what the Spanish fans think about Lamine Yamal. A lot of them are already making comparisons to Messi. They believe he is the player that will lead the national team to glory for many years to come. To be honest, when you watch the kid play, you will understand why there's so much hype around him. In the post-match conference of the Croatia game, the Spanish coach had this to say. Lamine Yamal, becoming the youngest player to play at the Euro. He just keeps breaking records. He needs to keep growing, and I'm sure one day he'll be one of the best. I love that he emphasized the need to grow, which is something the fans no longer care about. But will the coach put his own words into practice? Or will he keep starting Yamal in all the Euro matches? In an ideal world, the minutes of such a young and inexperienced player would be managed. But with the options on the Spanish bench being Dani Olmo, Mikel Oyarzabal and Jose Perez, I really don't see Lamine Yamal going back to the bench. Don't get me wrong, these players are way more experienced in tournament football, but they simply lack the explosiveness and directness Lamine Yamal possesses. The current tactics of the Spanish team have drifted away from their traditional tiki-taka. Oscar de la Fuente prefers to be more direct with pacey wingers, expanding the width of the pitch. In Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal, the manager has two very potent weapons in his arsenal. With all due respect to Croatia and Italy, Lamine Yamal hasn't played against any pre-tournament favourites yet, so how will he fare against the big boys? With Spain already through to the knockout stages, Lamine Yamal is about to face his biggest tests yet. The intensity, the tackling and the difficulty of the opponent will be significantly higher. But if there's something this kid has shown us, he can perform under pressure. The kid is lightning fast, isn't scared of taking a defender on, and is very good at passing and shooting the ball. One aspect about him that is overlooked is his insane strength and balance. For a teenager, his decision-making is way beyond his years, and his temperament is top-notch. All of these things are what he'll need in future battles to come, and should he continue performing as he did in the first two games, he'll only grow more in confidence and will be practically unstoppable. But Lamine Yamal is just one kid. What should we expect of the team as a whole? Heading into the tournament, a lot of people didn't have Spain on their list of favourites to win Euro 2024, but after their dominance against Croatia and reigning champions Italy, everyone has taken notice, and rightfully so. We all expect Spain to get past the round of 16 with ease, but it's from the quarterfinals that they could face real competition. Based on performances so far, the only threats to Spain are Germany, Portugal and France. I would have mentioned England, but they're coached by Gareth Southgate. Should they face Germany in the quarterfinals, I expect the game to be free-flowing with both teams trying to impose themselves. Despite home advantage, the pace and directness of Williams and Yamal on either wing will wreak havoc on the questionable German defense. For Portugal, their over-reliance on 39-year-old Ronaldo and Grandpa Pepe in defense could prove fatal. Spain simply has faster, younger and hungrier players and should win against the Portuguese. Their biggest and most difficult test will be a dream final against France. The French have by far the best defense in the tournament, coupled with a strong attack comprising Kylian Mbappe, Marcus Thuram and Ousmane Dembele. However, an assembly of stars alone doesn't win tournaments. Perhaps the only weak link in that French defense is their left back, Theo Hernandez, who happens to be the player Yamal will face. His appetite to attack could play into the hands of Lamine Yamal. Hernandez will definitely leave space behind, and Yamal will have the chance to weave his magic. Should this happen, Spain will focus their attack on that wing, effectively putting the fate of their Euro campaign on the kid. They say tournaments are won by the tightest of margins, and Lamine Yamal could be that factor that wins Spain the Euro 2024. Still, Lamine Yamal might be the player that leads Spain to the Euro 2024 trophy, but Turkish fans won't exchange him for Arda Güler. I'm talking 25-yard screamers and ice-cold celebrations. Click on the video to find out how Arda Güler will shock everyone at the Euros.